mile below the shimmering surface of the Red Sea, a weird and unspeakably large pile of human remains has been growing by hundreds every year in bizarre and unprecedented conditions. A flat, mirror-calm body of water bordered by beachy silt and seashells the color of ghost white or black as charcoal that glint and reflect in perpetual midnight. It looks like a lake underwater in the middle of the sea, and the minute you see it, you know this is a story of opposites. Welcome to the realm of deep-sea brine pools, underwater lakes that defy everything we thought we knew about our planet. What are they? How did they form? And why do so many animals never return after they cross its surface? And stick with us, because what we're about to get into is bizarre and wild and, yes, really has something to tell you about life. In 2020, the research vessel Ocean Explorer deployed a submersible to explore the abyssal plain of the Red Sea. 8 hours into their search, they discovered nothing. A dead desert of dark and detritus. Then, just when all hope seemed lost, the light hit something unusual, a dark, flat patch. At first, they thought it was rock, or maybe glass, or even sand. But as they got closer, they realized it was none of those. It was water, a separate layer of ultra-salty heavy fluid sitting quietly at the bottom of the sea, completely still, completely untouched. A lake inside the ocean. This is a view that few people have seen with their own eyes. And with good reason, because anything that goes into that weird layer rarely comes out again. So, when we say this lake shouldn't exist, we're speaking literally. It is a body of water, still below the water. Weird, right? Let's be scientific in a human way. But here's where it gets strange. These lakes aren't really lakes at all. They're pockets of trapped water, hidden deep beneath the ocean, so salty and dense that they don't mix with the sea around them. It's like the ocean has a secret layer, another world sitting quietly beneath the waves. Scientists call them brine pools, but to anyone who's seen them, they look almost alive. The edges shimmer, perfectly outlined, like someone drew a border between two worlds. Some researchers say it's just physics, the salt and temperature keeping the layers apart. But others wonder if nature really meant for such boundaries to exist. A lake floating inside an ocean separated not by rock, but by invisible forces. And maybe, it's not just the laws of science keeping them apart. And now we get to the part where it starts to feel like real science fiction, even though all of this is for real. These weird underwater lakes aren't new. They're remnants, leftovers of ancient oceans that used to blanket the earth. When those ancient oceans dried up, they left behind enormous layers of salt, buried deep beneath the seafloor. The planet shifted, fractured, and twisted over millions of years, and the deep salt began to rise once more. When seawater trickled down through the cracks, it dissolved the old salt and produced something strange, pockets of super salty liquid that would not mix with the ocean surrounding them. What we're left with today are secret lakes sitting inside the ocean, silent, heavy, and untouched since the time of the dinosaurs. Some scientists call them windows to Earth's past, but others believe they might be more than that, a doorway to something nature never meant us to see. And here's where the story goes crazy. These pools are death traps, pure and simple, no oxygen. Poisonous gases such as hydrogen sulfide and methane, so salty in fact, that most animals twitch and die upon impact. But right at the edges, life thrives. Mussels and shrimps and snails bed down directly at the edge, buoyed by bacteria that do chemosynthesis instead of photosynthesis. It's an edge ecosystem on the brink of annihilation. Now picture, down in the abyss, what amounts to a watering hole where only the bravest of beasts dare tread and survivors skulk. Scientists recently exploring the Red Sea stumbled onto something unbelievable, hidden lakes a few kilometers off the coast. Down there, in utter darkness with no oxygen, they found life. Small things moving and growing in a place that should kill everything. It's as if you found an alien world, right here on Earth, just kind of tucked away behind a redwood grove. These brine pools are considered by some scientists to potentially hold the key to how life started, or indeed might exist on other planets. But some wonder whether we're observing something far stranger. A world that was never supposed to be touched. If this place invited you for a swim, you'd probably run the other way. But microbes? They moved in ages ago, and they're still partying down there. When you're thinking, cool story, what does this mean to me? Because they are rewriting everything we thought we knew about life on Earth. 1. They demonstrate that life can live without sunlight in separate ecosystems driven by chemistry. That's what obliterates the sunlight equals life stereotype. Second, they could be storing the missing chapter of Earth's story where life truly began. Very salty, low oxygen, and by conditions I mean the same as those we had billions of years ago. Third, they serve as Earth's mirrors for alien worlds. For example, the oceans beneath the ice of Jupiter's moon. Europa or Saturn's moon, Enceladus, may conceal similar environments. Might such moons also have brine lake analogs? Lastly, they hold biochemical treasure chests. Bacteria living in brine pools have antibiotic and anti-cancer properties. So, yeah, this hidden lake, it's not just weird, it might be fundamental. Access to these pools is not a casual beach swim. These are things that live miles down, under intense pressure and near zero visibility. One was discovered by the crew on Ocean Explorer just minutes before their dive came to an end. And though humans haven't stepped foot in most of them, we've sent robots and cameras and probes because entering them is like entering another planet. But there's a kicker, they're deadly. Animals that wander in simply don't return. They're either knocked out or killed by the salt and poison. But we keep going, because every time we look into one of these lakes, we gaze at an alternative map of what life can be. So, what's next? Where do we go from here? Today, scientists are sending robotic drones deep into the ocean to places no human can survive. Their goal? To find new hidden lakes buried beneath the sea, some shockingly close to the shore. These strange pools seem alive in their own way. Inside them, researchers have found microscopic organisms that can do the impossible. Survive crushing pressure, deadly radiation, and even dissolve plastic. It's as if nature designed them for a future we haven't reached yet. Or maybe they're leftovers from a world that existed long before us. We're applying the strangest locales on Earth to solve earthly problems. And if life can flourish in such lakes of death, perhaps life flourishes in places we thought impossible deep beneath ice, in alien seas. What I want you to take away from this is, we gaze up at the night sky so often, searching for life, mystery, and meaning, but perhaps what we should be looking at is right under our own oceans. That buried lake, still at the surface but deadly beneath it, is a symbol. That world still contains places we can't quite completely map, ecosystems we hardly understand, and life that challenges our textbook. So, the next time you plunge into the ocean, remember this. Somewhere below the miles-deep water that covers almost 3/4 of the Earth's surface, there is an enormous hidden lake, and yet, it does. What other impossibles are waiting? Thanks for watching. If you liked this deep dive into the unknown, go ahead and hit subscribe. Drop me a comment down below, letting me know which part absolutely blew your mind. And I'll see you next time.